deliver, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see if he can deliver once again with the lineup here, with the rest of APBR as they are match point to the draft here. Crucial for Blacklist International. The agents cheering them on, dancing them on, ready to extend the series. They don't want it to close out here in this sweep, but APBR, they're after that slot in the grand final. Bands already coming out here. You can see the Akai, the Boxer, the Guinevere. This is still the Hakasensui strategy that we've been seeing from APBR as Blacklist first picks the Fredrin.
That would be the Faramis Matilda. Instantly taking out the typical heroes that will become good combos for the Fredrin. You're now left with what? Valentina, perhaps the Blacklist International, and the Claude. And they straight up go to Estes.
Ooh, very quick responses, but just as well. Now the ball's in APBR's court. Gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the earliest Estes we've seen?
Yeah.
At least in the knockouts.
Yeah, at least in the knockouts, at least in recent memory.
In M5.
Yes.
M5 and maybe
Usually that
season
second
12.
phase.
Exactly.
This is Blacklist's last stand. If the ties don't change here, then they're never gonna change. This is their last chance.
Yep. That means that APBR might reconsider getting the Martis. It still is good, but it might not be the best. Maybe they go back to something like a D-Roth, actually. The jungle. I mean, they haven't played it yet for Kaltizi.
They go
But
to
they
Martis.
will be forced to pick up the Martis.
In a way, this is just this is the expected matchup against the Fredrin, right? You
That's true.
kind of play into this. You try once again to utilize the Mortal Coils, and you're well protected, right? The thing that we saw from the previous game kind of struggle for Sensui was the fact that, you know, once again trying to get into those dances, those turtle takes, the lore takes, but then that's the question as well. Should they have really actually been trying to do that given the whole situation? Now with this, the fact that even Blacklist International, they're going to have a Valentina again once for themselves. They can play around the Netherrealm, but now you add in this whole healing factor, right? And that's what the Estes brings to the table. Not only that, but also it forces the enemy team to adjust. It was going to force APBR to build up some of these anti-heal items right away, which kind of stalls things out a little bit longer, how they want to approach that, Wolf.
Well, they might go for the anti-heal items or maybe overload on damage. For example, they might pick up something along the lines of a Lapu-Lapu perhaps, as well as the Claude AoE damage dealers. It has been proven though that Claude is not an end-all be-all answer to the Estes. It has been proven that even Renegade can outplay the Claude. You know?
Nor is it an answer to the Faramis. Again, it still comes down to the matchup, which, folks, is begging to be addressed. There's still no XP lane matchup, nor a gold lane matchup, unless. No, it's not going to happen. Blacklist is not definitely going to put that Fredrin into Edward's hands. You need it on Sensui.
Yeah, they have to. And looking at the matchup here specifically, as we've been comparing these XP laners, the Arlot, the Arlo, like we like to call it, right? You can really see the difference here, Wolf.
Exactly. I kind of feel that if the Arlot will be picked up, might be the last pick. So far, FlapTZ has a better win rate at that hero. I think 1-1 should also be the choice here for APBR. The way that they're banning, they ban out both the Khalid as well as the Bruno heroes that deal well against this 1-1. So maybe the Blacklist International might just be better off banning that out. They don't necessarily have the enough tools to kind of deal with that. Well, they do have the Estes and they have the Valentina for copying that, but they're sitting ducks once again, waiting to be stacked up. There's the 1-1.
That is good call, right? 1-1 out of the picture. Ixia as well. Bruno, now what does this leave to the table for these gold lanes? We're still talking about, you know, the Claude being available. Brody is now here as well. What are we thinking for Brody comes up for APBR?
Immediately picking up the Brody. Blacklist, they can go back to just the Claude this time. And then pick up the Lapu-Lapu, perhaps. I think it still is pretty good. Go back to the Paquito. This begs APBR to might consider the Benedetta, actually, as their last pick.
That's right, you compromise the Estes positioning,
Oh,
and
the
just like
Beatrice.
that,
Of course!
you
They're going
throw back.
signature.
How about it? You throw back Edward Balboa, the heel man, the Filipino sniper.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is going to be good. I mean, what do you pick up now? Of course, the Benedetta is a possibility for FlapTZ. There still is the Arlet, but both of them might pale in comparison to the Beatrix. The Clue! Oh,
Make my day. Make my day. He's going to find Oheb almost all day. Hell, he's going to find Renegade.
Yeah.
Make that an odd engagement. And usually, again, we've seen in the knockout stage, specifically today, Renegades always been by Oheb's side. So that's a 2-for-1 when it comes to splits.
For sure.
Hey, well, now this time, you talked about this earlier, you know, Wolf, they are going to be together, right? They're going to be in that Ube form that we see from this lineup time and time again. And does that work in favor of the glue here?
Absolutely. You can argue that. I think that you might even consider using the glue on the Estes and take him away from the team instead.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that could be the decision. That's why I feel like Flicker should be the choice of battle spell here for Renegade. One thing I'm really concerned about is this Brody. Obviously, it's very strong in the early stages. But it has been proven that once you step into the mid-game with the Estes having the Flask of the Oasis, this Brody is going to be a non-factor.
We'll find out here. Match point is what Blacklist International is facing. They've got all the signature picks here. Can they pull it off to extend the series? Because AP Bren riding on the momentum here as game 3 is upon us. Both junglers getting a position once again. Sensui, the work cut out for him this time around, has struggled to fight amongst these objectives. And you can already see AP Bren still putting pressure where they want to in the jungle.
Ooh, Few catching a face full of damage from Yue already. Interesting rotation. The start for Ogwin and Few was cutting right through. Flapteasy as well, checking that purple.
But then again, Sensui might have felt it a little bit because after getting the orange buff, he went straight to the Rock Horse or the Golem. Instead of the natural pathway of going for the orange into the purple. That's why right now the movements of Flapteasy was kind of wasted in a way.
Yeah, and with that, again, even as you saw from the emblems, you know, Flapteasy, his job here, he's going to tank quite a bit of damage. He still has that tenacity as well to kind of keep him alive longer, works around the split. But really, job is grab Oheb, right? Try to split him off from Renegade, try to get him into these team fights, into the range, of course, so Super Marco can get those marks off, get the torn apart memories. But here,
Flapteasy flickering on through, red like a book, dodging Sensui's Appraiser's Wrath. Close call, interesting, because of these early rotations, Flapteasy here with the turtle coming up in about 10 seconds is still left at what, barely level 3.
Yeah. We get 2 cards anyways, so it's going to be A-OK afterwards. The fact that he didn't die was going to be good for AP Bren, but it will not be enough.
Wow. Right now, turtle going to be up. Still waiting for that level 4 for Flap, but right now, Blacklist in positioning. Hue holding on to the Decimate himself. This could turn the tide of that skirmish early on. Ogwin.
Oh no, forcing the flicker. US spends his Decimate, stolen away. Body hitting the floor. First blood drawn by Black now. This is about to break out into a big fight. The split by Flapteasy, looking for Edward, looking for the grab. Turtle at a 4 of its health. Sensui pushing back Blacklist. Coming in with the heals from Renegade, the heal man at your service, forcing out another realm from AP Bren. And they back out, Sensui securing a turtle. The second wind from Blacklist coming online.
A massive play coming out from Blacklist International. It all started with the speed of them clearing out the lanes. Because AP Bren was so busy trying to correct the lane of Flapteasy up top that compromised their levels on Ogwin as well as onto Few, which allowed Blacklist International to pick off Ogwin and then eventually take over. It was the tempo that Blacklist International got in the first 2 minutes, and they took care of it.
And with that, they finally find themselves a lead early on. It's small, but they can work with this, right? That's what they have to be able to do. Pull through, allow the gold to fall into Oheb's hands here on this Matrix. We saw this earlier today, right? In their series early, he wanted to play this hero. This is something he's wanted to play, but he knows that, hey, Beatrix, just the way she fits in the meta currently, it's really got to be the right situation. And when you pair it up with these heroes that they have, this could be that. They're off to a great start. Poke's already in the bottom lane. They're going to crash down.
Collapsing onto this gold lane tier 1. Chipping away, bombs away. Oheb gets a face full of stacks. Backing off. They're setting up for a clash in mid. But so far, it's Blacklist calling all the shots.
It's going to be, again, control for Blacklist International. That's the thing when they play the Fredrin. They really know how to handle the lanes, handle the jungle.
Oh no. Yue picking up that decimate once more. No more shields on this gold lane. Close call, putting Ogwin down to 5th of his health.
Yeah.
Filipino sniper is here.
He's going to get checked, and that's kind of what they have to do, right? Continuing to build up the lead. Sometimes it's just, all right, let's get this extra gold, the gold plate from the turrets. Let's work around that, take the discipline route, and back off. This is also a big item pickup for Few here. Gets the necklace of Durance Wolf.
Yeah. I mean, very important for sure. But that means that APBR might just resolve to just backing down a little bit. Kaltizi is not snowballing anyways for the Martis. They are same levels for Sensui as well as Kaltizi, but the rest might struggle.
Big pull by Few, snagging Yue and Edward. Now from the side, look at Super Marco, stacks on the Yue, stacks on him, taking him down. That's one off the board for Blacklist. As the turtle gets reset, the split from Flapteezy, it looks like, based on how the map looks, Blacklist just letting go of this turtle, 1 for 1.
Yep, going to be the 1 for 1 in terms of the turtle, but still, they've done great work around the map to garner and keep this lead relatively still in their favor for now. APBR looking for any type of answer they can. Wow, they already get a flicker out.
Oheb, so close, surviving with about 1 HP. In comes Ogwin, the Whistler enough, using that flicker, backing on out.
And the good thing here is APBR are activating Super Marco, was actually in there during the team fight around the turtle. And then right afterwards, you know that the ultimate is cooling down. You even have the flicker to help you out. Super Marco getting a kill and then a turret. I mean, he didn't get the last hit. It was Ogwin to clean up, but that was a lot of economy that goes in their favor.
Oh no, Abun Jingjing 2v1 gets the grab on him, displaces him. Enough for Kaltizi to finish the job.
And that is why the glue works. So now APBR bites back, they crawl back, they diminish the gold lead relatively to nothing.
No.
And still, the focus, top side.
Forcing an engage on the Ogwin, bombs away. Oheb forcing them back. Ogwin put down to 1/5 of his health. Gonna recall, but look at this. Flap might be looking for an engage. Super Marco gonna continue to clear out the waves.
That's the value of the Matilda. You can poke. You can see Ogwin utilizing the ultimate, not for kills, but for them to secure that turret up top without any exchange. APBR in the last 3 minutes of the game have found their opening and now have taken the lead back to their side.
Real quick too, power spike wise, right? I mean, gold between the gold laners are relatively even, but the fact that Super Marco has the Malefic Roar, he's got the blade as well, going against the Beatrix, how's this looking in terms of damage output for APBR?
100% for APBR, this is their power spike. I would dare say that until the, 10-minute mark, they have the lead. And that's one thing that they need to use. It doesn't mean that Blacklist International are going to suffer. If they just touch the fights, they just farm out, clear out the lanes, they're going to be A-okay in the latter portions of the mid-game. But for now, definitely APBR will have the better heroes suited for this turtle fight.
Little Wanderer scored, getting vision into those bushes. Now the Circling Eagle, putting Sensui at half health, knocking him up. Turtle at a third. This is about to break out. Netherrealm still intact, spent in. Blast International with the stolen one from Yue. Popping that extra health, stunning him. The ult from Reda J. And Kaltizi looking to secure. They got shields, they got extra damage. Bounce away from Oheb, collapsing on a Blast International. Sensui with an Appraiser's Wrath, knocking Ogwin out. Edward scores one, sending APBR packing.
Another trade here, Turtle taken, but they get a kill once again. You can really see the exchanging of blows between these two. Now the focus in the mid.
They keep going. Blacks International looking for that push. Flapteezy gets a long shot.
Wow. And obviously, Edward going for the place. Super Mario going to be found here. Very unlikely for them to kind of kill each other. And Super Marco sniffs that Paquito out. We see that APBR in these very long team fights where they don't have their ultimates anymore, Blacklist International will have a better shot, especially because of their sustain. And I think that was the Flapteezy read. Go into Renegade instead of going to the opposing marksman. Did not work, unfortunately.
Yeah. You have to kind of adapt, that strategy if you're APBR, dealing with this SS, dealing with the amount of sustainability, right? We already saw that total heal chart. It's off the charts, especially with an SS. That's typically how it goes. So either you said you build up those anti-heal items and then you overload the damage, right? That's kind of the answer here. But right now, you saw the extended fights. Blacklist International does really well with this, Leo.
And this is in 9 minutes. This is even before Renegade is able to make all the members of Blacklist International effectively Mashas, effectively X-Borgs. And here now, they're looking at about 1,000 gold ahead, approaching the 10-minute mark. Question is, gentlemen, have they hit the rubber band? This is what we were looking for in game 1 and 2.
My heart says 60% yes, you know. I think that this is definitely Blacklist International sided, and I'm not saying just because of what the heroes that they have, but also because of the idea of the Ube, right? That is what's going to happen. I think that APBR might be baited into the spot where they go in one by one again. There will come a time where this glue coming out from Flap TZ will not be as tanky as you see him. Like when he goes for Renegade, he can be taken out easily because of the Beatrix. And then what you can do is after the Nether Realm is popped by few, you can just take it out because you have the Nibiru's Passion anyways, and then set up for more kills afterwards. And you can even see Sensui just manhandling the entirety of APBR by just staying in front, going in for the taunts, going for the knockups, and then landing the finishing blow with the ultimate.
And going back to it, you know, like how, because we don't see Beatrix often, we're getting the signal, by the way. What is the power spike for Beatrix now currently? What, 2-3 items? Already have the BOD locked in. How much more do they need upon assaulting this bottom side? See if they commit.
Yeah, maybe just the Wind of Nature for the Beatrix so that he can man fight against the Brody. And Brody might be forced into utilizing the ultimate much faster. Interesting, Demon Hunter Sword for Super Marco. Much needed in this fight where there's a lot of sustain on this side of Blacklist International.
Yeah. Now with that, Lord going to be up this time around. Relatively well, both teams contesting the early objectives, the Turtles. 2 turrets for each team as well, even space to work around with. But right now, Edward's still on the bottom side. Lord resets for now. Blacklist International not want to fully commit to it. They go ahead and buy a little more time. Malefic Roar being picked up here for Edward. So this could turn the tide of some of these fights. Again, from APBR, forcing out the NetherRealm is going to be crucial here, and how UA plays around his zone as they get prepped and ready for the Lord dance.
Here we go. Lord approaching half health. Flap easy force use a split early on. APBR's initiations saying it's time to dance. Blacklist finally obliges and forces them back. Now, the dance continues.
Yep. No ult for Flap.
No one for Flap.
Gotta watch out. Still another realm intact for both Yue and Few. Checking in that bush. They're aware. Yue is present. Lord here at half health. Sensui, Edward and Oheb taking the top lane, controlling that long bush. Flap easy check in. No one home. Lord at half health. The dance continues.
Half health here. Still gonna go ahead and get this reset going. Both junglers taking their time. Count Teasy, half health himself. It's up to APBR to try to put the pressure, whether that's on UA, whether that's on Renegade.
Edward
waiting patiently.
Agent Zero might be able to burst down Kyle. The patience. Oh, he sees him, and the bomb's away, coming through. A shooter's aura out. Another round from both sides already spent. Kyle TZ in peril, in danger. Flap TZ coming in, forcing an ult from Renegade. The grab onto this Estes, keeping him in damage range. 4-0 with a takeout. Kyle TZ look at the back line, waiting for the timing on the retribution. Memory, knocking out Edward Balboa. And there's an Appraiser's Wrath, putting down APBR, down each to a fifth of their health. Kyle TZ with the decimate, Oheb with the shutdown. Few taking down Yue. It's a bloodbath near the Lord Pit. Oheb the only one standing. Traded off for Kyle TZ. APBR stands their ground.
They're going to go ahead and work on this Lord here, though Kyle TZ is going to be out of the picture. Oheb, the last one alive. They're going to drive him back.
2v3, 1v3, gets the double. This is the Filipino sniper in the building. Rizal Memorial, acknowledge him.
Nevertheless, it will be APBR to secure the Lord. Already, Blacklist International forced out the ultimate of Flap, but at the second team fight, APBR was managed to reset the Lord. And then afterwards, you can see the jump coming out from Flap TZ, forcing Oheb to also flicker out. Additionally, Super Marco managed to land all of the stacks, forcing out, and then after the flicker, he lands it on the entirety of Blacklist International, taking them out with a torn apart memory. Then APBR with Kyle TZ surviving with a sliver of health. Ogwin jumping in at the right time with a guiding wind, and then Few popping the ultimate as well as the right time. AP Bren, a wonderful team fight that they were able to get.
Patience upon patience, man.
Yep.
They got reserves of it, both sides.
As they got to deal with that. Still, AP Bren playing around this Lord, going down the mid, putting the pressure here, top side.
Forcing out a response as they pull Sensui in. Circling Eagle, there's another realm from Yue. A lot of stacks popping those extra HP bars. Few still has his ult intact. That's the torn apart memory spent in not enough stacks to be actually a threat as AP Bren clear out the waves. Blacks International though able to take care of this Lord in quick fashion. Mid lane inhibitor still standing, a third of its health left. Renegade healing up. Blacklist's cavalry, the front line still stand.
Now they make their way top side here, but Blacklist International able to hold on for now. Still Oheb, exactly where he needs to be on this Beatrix as we take a look at the items here, Wolf.
Not that behind, away from Super Marco, but we know that this is the power spike for Super Marco. Able to get 4 items, eventually gets the 5th, and then upcoming Lord, that will be critical mass for AP Bren. And I would dare say that is their only win condition right now for Blacklist. The fact that they didn't lose any of their inhibitor turrets at that Lord push, that's actually good news. Even after losing the fights, they know that they can punish. They will just have to wait for their own critical mass.
Oh, battling it out in the jungle.
Flapteezy here, very low, might be taken out, gets the rod out of Sensui, but Oheb takes him down. That's a free pickoff. Blacks International all this while. The 12th Hall of Legends inductee out in the long lane taking care of this tier 2. Abun Jingjing doing work.
He has been. And just before all that, you saw the difference between the gold for the XP laners, and that's why as they get another turret down. Tier 1 in the mid lane. Edward has been doing work. Man. He is online in terms of the items. Oheb also just picked up that next item, the DHS. And this is important, right? Looking at the real-time win rate, it's 50-50 currently, as this is one of the closest so far of this series, or the closest game that we've had. Now game number 3.
And I would say Blacklist International, all they need to do is to survive the next Lord. Let's just say they lose it to AP Bren, but they defend and not get pushed by AP Bren. They will have the pendulum swinging in their favor. AP Bren, this is their last shot. They have to take this, and they have to take Blacklist International members together with them. Eventually, this Brody will not have the proper scaling against Blacklist International, and eventually Renegade will be tanky enough to survive all throughout the combo, and that means the doom of AP Bren.
Amazing. Renegade able to use that skill as a vision getter, checking in bushes. He is so deadly with the Estus, and that's an oxymoron if I've ever said that. Checking out the dance. Look at Edward again taking control of the long bush. Flapteezy keeping guard. Lord here, a third of its health pulled away directly from Blacks International, but they don't mind. They're taking control of this pit as the Lord gets reset.
Gonna go ahead and get reset here. Blacklist International wants to go ahead and whittle down AP Bren and let them take and tank this Lord on their side. They're willing to let them do that and punish them. Also, the fact that Yue is still holding on to this Nether Realm, providing the damage that he has, picked up that Divine Glaive earlier on. That's the threat here for AP Bren and why they're so hesitant for this. Again, they're trying to get in position. Edward now joining this as well. Sensui keeping the Lord between him and Kyle Teasy. Still, neither team. It's a 50-50, just like this Lord dance. As they work on these buffs, Super Marco grabbing the orange. Edward waiting patiently. Lord will get reset once again. Wolf, this is the dance.
This is the dance. Every single detail matters. Like pushing the bottom lane as well as the top lane. You can see bottom lane, AP Bren will have the advantage, but Edward tries to correct it, going for the short lane. And then who's holding on to the Lord? At this point, only Flapteezy from AP Bren is valid to hold that. And you can see Super Marco is doing, he's attacking the Crammer.
Oh, there's a circling eagle and the taunt from Sensui. This is the point of no return. Edward coming in, revealing himself, dealing a lot of damage. The Nether Realm from a Yue. They pop the extra life bars. Lord down to 5th of its health. They're gonna have to commit a 10th of its health. A pretty canceled out. God, easy scores the Lord. The second of this game at 17 minutes. They take down Sensui. Edward surviving. Flapteezy taken out. The Filipino sniper falls. It's a shutdown. Flapteezy hunting for Yue, finding bodies. Bottom lane gotta get taken care of. Yue way deep behind enemy territory. No man's land for a Valentina.
Yue
gets taken out by few. It's just Edward left standing. A Lord marching in mid.
Edward left standing, Lord making its way down the mid. We're gonna take a quick look at the instant replay here. Brought to us by Katia as we get back to the game.
This is endable. APBR can smell it. Edward gets taken out. His immortality popped.
Oh.
He gets taken down. The wipeout, the winner trunks juggle. Sensui looking to clear. APBR, the world tour continues. Next stop, the grand finals.
And the Hive is alive once again. In another sweep, APBR will move on to the grand final to face Sonic.
They have found the opening in that Lord Dance. Renegade found Sensui, found Flaptisi with the opening with a stun, Super Marco as well. Fishing out Edward and punishing that Paquito. That was a beautiful Lord Dance from APBR to end this game.
They adjusted quickly from the previous series, and that's exactly what they had to do. But again, what a story here for Blacklist International leading into their season, into the M5, and what they've accomplished. Once again, both teams, unfortunate that one team has to go home. That's the nature of the competition. But either way, the Philippines can still be rest assured that they're in good hands tomorrow.
You see here the sportsmanship, the mutual respect, and the love these athletes share. As you can see, almost symbolically, Black is saying, APBR, it's up to you now.
As we get ready, once again, let's go ahead and throw it over to the stage to have our closing interviews.
Blacklist International. You had an incredible journey this M5. Unfortunately, it is not the result that you desire. Is there anything that you want to say to all your fans here and all over the world? What is your message to everybody?
Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng pumunta dito at saka sumuporta sa amin. Sorry, talo kami. Yan lang po. Thank you so much sa magsuporta.
Thank you to all who supported them and who came all the way here. They apologize for losing, but they thank you for your dedication. Blacklist International, you may now take your final bow. And everybody, one more time, Blacklist, your journey ends here. And now, our grand finalist, APBR. Congratulations, APBR. Phew, oh my gosh. Now you go on again, your second time to go to the grand finals of the World Championship. Phew, Coach, what are you guys thinking right now? This is gonna be, well, what's gonna be different this time around?
Check ping lang yung kanina.
Check ping. Oh, okay. Coach Brand said what happened earlier, and I'm assuming that's the one with Onyx. Just check ping. Just check ping.
Malas yung sinabi ni Flap na 3-0 sa amin nangyari.
Oh, okay. He said it was bad luck for Flap to say 3-0 because it happened to them instead. Flap, you're going to the grand finals once again. How different is it this time?
Sobrang saya ko po kasi grand finals na. Tapos kung meron man ako natutunan siguro wag ako mag-predict kasi ang malas eh.
He's really happy to make it to the grand finals, but if he's learned anything at all, it's to not predict because his prediction is bad luck. Coach, once again, you're going to the grand finals, one step away to getting that trophy. What are you expecting? How is it different this time? And what do you want to see from your team?
First of all, maraming salamat sa mga pumunta dito. Maraming salamat, guys. Alam ko, yung iba sa inyo, dapat nasa bahay, nag-enjoy, but you came out here to watch us perform, so maraming salamat. But second thing, congratulations to my team. Hindi ko nasasabihin, alam naman nilang proud kami sa kanila eh. So, the adjustments that we're going to make is simply rest. Kailangan na namin magpahinga kasi we have a long match tomorrow. We'll collect our thoughts and then just talk slow and take it easy. Kasi the more that we are calm, the more that we are able to perform at the highest possible level.
He thanks everyone for supporting them because a lot of you can easily watch us at home, but you came out here to support AP Brand, so he's really appreciative of that. Coach, earlier, you guys almost got game one. And then I believe it might have affected the team mentally, is that correct? How were you able to adjust to make sure that this fight against Blacklist International, you were able to do a clean game and with a great sweep to make sure that the grand finals is yours?
For Blacklist, since we've been playing against them for a very long time, I think we adjusted really well in terms of like preparation. It was easier for us to prepare for Blacklist than Onyx Indonesia. So I think that's one of the top things that happened back there. Second of all, I think Blacklist they're still good. It's just that there's something lacking at the moment. I can't pinpoint what it is, but for sure they'll find it. Matagal na naming tinitingala ang Blacklist. They're able to do all these wonderful miracles for their players. So hopefully they bounce back stronger. And one final message for Blacklist. Kami muna. Try namin i-defend yung crown.
You're gonna try to defend the crown. One last time. One last question. How are you going to make sure that what happened earlier with Onyx will not happen again tomorrow?
Pupuntahan ko si Yeb sa kwarto niya.
You're gonna go to Coach Yeb's room.
Tapos lalasingin ko.
And then you're gonna get him drunk. And final message to the fans. Actually, Caltisi, Super Marco, the mic is yours. Final message to everyone who came out here to support you.
Thank you sa mga pumunta rito. Tapos sa mga agents dyan.
Woo! Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the agents. All right, everybody. When I say AP, you all say Brand. AP? Congratulations, AP Brand. You may now take your bow. You're heading to the grand finals. What a phenomenal game by AP Brand. So we're gonna break that down for you. So we're gonna go back to our casters. Pasok.
Imagine the M5 World Championship, such a long journey, being in the grand finals. How does it feel? Woo. Woo indeed. And Flap, here's the thing, I feel, man. Something about the predictions, man, don't do it.
Don't do it.
I felt it. I felt it. You haven't had the curse. You got it right. You called it for Bren.
Yep, I was calling it for Bren. I was hoping that this would be the entire series, but as Coach Ducky mentioned, again, Blacklist seemed to be missing something this time around, and obviously we're trying to pinpoint what exactly it is. We'll do our best, everybody, but again, he's right. There was something missing in this upcoming matchup. Let's talk about a couple of things, like the MVP, for an example, of this match. LaFell, come on, we can both agree it's this dude, right?
Here's the thing, I kind of hope it's Flap, because he made plays, man. He made plays, and the MVP of the game is gonna go over to Super Marco 405. Do we have to say, he entered a team fight way earlier. I watched his items. The moment he had 2 items, he went for that second turtle.
I'm telling you, all this gym work that Coach Ducky is making his players go through, it adds up. He's feeling confident, and more importantly so, he's using his escape tools to cover distances that he shouldn't be covering in front of enemy front lines.
We're going to look at the highlights, but I do want to talk about the EXP laners for both EXP laners because Edward just now played beautifully, but Flap, that one time he was able to use the split, get onto Renegade, that was the turning point, man. But for now, we got to look at the highlights and see how fast Super Marco joined the team fight.
Yep, I mean, Super Marco, he's playing extremely aggressively. He's trying to make sure that his power spike is absolutely worth it every single time, and he gets close on these moments as well. You can see how eager he is to win and create that snowball. But oh man, when we come down to these Lord dances, it is a struggle for both sides.
Yeah, and again, it's just the win goes over to APBR just because Super Marco, again, dishing the damage. But the entire team setting it up for him, because we got to talk about the draft here coming in from Blacklist. This is their draft. This is textbook Blacklist International, and they played way better than Game 1 and Game 2. But again, just like Coach Ducky said, they faced against Blacklist all the time. They know how to fight this.
I mean, let's talk about some of the good things about Blacklist's overall lineup, right? It's about maintaining battle lines. It's about pushing and pulling against your opponent and exhausting their resources as much as they can. But here's the thing. When APBR locked in that Farmers, that's atypical. We've seen many teams go against Blacklist International's Queen Estes, of course, by having the call Altar at the time, now known as the Netherrealm. They changed it up. Because they have that Farmers, they have access to glue. And what's glue great at? Sticking on you and cutting off your lines of retreat, laying it down. The only mistake that Blacklist could have done is if their main carries stuck too close to their front lines, and that was the opportunity that APBR took advantage of.
Let's talk about Super Marco. The way that he set it up, he really wants to deal the damage very, very early on. Assassin Emblem, Rupture, Master Assassin. The Quantum Charge is both offensive as well as defensive. He's making sure that he wins the lane. This is one of those moments where Super Marco is saying, team, I'm going to be the carrier of this game. You guys just back me up, and they did back him up.
Yep, they really did back him up. And the way that they're peeling for him, right, both teams kind of want to do the exact same thing. And you would imagine that at the very least with Yue on this Valentina, that he finds more value in this, well, in this case, Netherrealm on top of having the additional heal from the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. So why did it start to crumble? A lot of it just comes down to the plays that are being made. Ogwin, in these cases, he doesn't really need to do much. It's just the pushing and pulling. He's not looking to engage.
And again, I kind of feel like in this game, Oheb is the key for victory for Blacklist International, but having few Flap as well as Ogwen misplacing him, making sure that he's in a bad position, because I still remember the last team fight around Lord, he was way out of line. He was way too in front and gave a lot of resources for APBR to go in.
Exactly. It's the value of the little globules coming in from glue. The moment he touches it and you are stunned, that's the go time for the side of APBR. That's why we're seeing that the rich guy and the carry is going over to Super Marco, and why the sandbag most of the time is going to be Sensui. Once he latches on with the split onto Sensui's side, he's trying to pull him away from everybody, force Blacklist International to use resources by clumping up, whether they like it or not.
Let me just say Super Marco is my personal goal later when it comes to having the best players for a draft, right? But now we're going to look at the damage dealt here. 88,000 damage coming in from Super Marco. Quite a stark difference going up against Oheb, 52,000. We got to consider that Oheb using the Beatrix, you have a lot of ways to dish out the damage, especially AoE damage. Now, I saw a lot of the Bennett's Rage was able to be avoided thanks to Ogwen with the Guiding Wind. So I kind of feel like in this game, they really play around Oheb, making sure that Oheb doesn't deal easy damage.
Oh, for sure. Because we were expecting maybe Benedetta was going to be the play for Edward, but instead, actually, Paquito is the more efficient pick here, with shorter cooldowns and a more clean way to actually peel enemies off of your backline. I think this was a very good decision coming in from Blacklist International. The only problem with this is once they run out of steam, how else are they going to maintain the battle lines, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Their lineup is a 4-1 formation. Having Edward on a solo lane or the long lane and then everyone else moving together is the way they want to play. The bad thing is, for that composition to work, the 4 needs to win against the 5. Unfortunately, they couldn't win. And because of that, APBR, they really made sure that the numbers matter. Having 5 against 4, winning that 5 against 4 made it so that Edward has to step away from his job. It's like, I want to stay in the sidelines, but I can't. I got to help out my team.
Yeah, I mean, the conditions to winning was very, very narrow.